Welcome back to another video today, and this is going to be, before we get into this, obviously I should have a disclaimer for this, a warning, a trigger warning. We're going to be discussing a lot of superphobia, because this needs to be called out. It needs to be corrected. It has to be. This is something, brothers and sisters of the super community, that you should know about. And remember that you are valid, even while going through this really painful, this really hurtful, really hurtful things that have been said and pushed against us and depicted of us. It's gonna hurt, but just remember, you're valid. 100% you're valid. I just want to make sure you know that before you get into this video, we are going to be dealing with a lot of superphobia, a little bit of sexism, some racism in there too, and practically violence against the community. If only bigots were just more, if only they weren't so intolerant, if only they could just accept us as to who we are, accept our sexuality. But it's 2021. I thought this was a norm. I didn't think superphobia would be a thing, but here we are, our sexuality not accepted, bullied, berated, and we're being treated like lesser by our brothers and sisters over at the LGHTTV community. And it pains me, because all I've ever wanted was just to be accepted. Just to be accepted. This intolerance, this bigotry, it breaks my heart. It breaks my heart. And to see the LGBTIZQA community treating us like this, we should be accepted. But if only we lived in a more tolerant time. To think if gay rights, if gay marriage rights could be accepted, we could be accepted. But I guess they consider us too taboo. Quick rundown on the SuperStraight movement and why it's almost literally murder. This is done by Cinch News, social justice, home, politics, social justice, world, entertainment, lifestyle. Written by Tina Moranov. Despite several decades of disgusting and violent rhetoric dominating the internet and preventing a truly inclusive space, we are still somehow caught by surprise when the hate-filled and fragile white men outdo themselves in the race to be as disgusting and shrewd as possible. Okay, so this is a literal racist article. Started by TikTok user Kyle Royce, the SuperStraight Fed appears to be based on face value and attempt at a disenfranchised and valued group of persons. They look at the way they spelled persons, that want to encourage understanding and acceptance of their sexuality. However, anyone who has spent more than 10 minutes on Earth understands that being straight has been widely accepted social norm for all perceivable time and is more violent than it is oppressed. Luckily, iconic queen of TikTok, T Blizzy shut down the entire movement with his internet-breaking Yas Queen moment.
So I'm sure y'all have seen this video by now, the SuperStraight thing. Yeah, so many people have tagged me in this video, and I was wondering why no one else had responded to it. Then I realized it's because TikTok won't let us. I posted this video 3 times now. It's been 13 hours since the first time I posted it, and it still has 0 views. Then I did some further digging. That video has over 5 million views. They've now created a flag. Like, this is now a movement, apparently. So then I went to go see who else stitched the video. I said, surely other people are talking about this. No, there's a few stitches here and there with minimal views and only consisting of people who agree with him. Are we surprised though? Because TikTok thrives off of transphobia, homophobia, racism, misogyny, etc. All I said in my response was that it's honestly embarrassing that so many people lack the emotional maturity and intelligence to just introspect and reflect upon their prejudices and biases. So they make up a whole new sexuality to protect their transphobia, and TikTok is protecting it with their lives.
Yes, because it's, quote, transphobia because they don't want to touch your penis. Okay. Naturally, T Busy would receive a lot of hate standing up for trans folks and shutting down this idiotic attempt to enter our safe spaces. Their obsession with her was exemplified by her almost 24 videos noting that she doesn't care about their hate. 24 videos. 24 videos noting that she doesn't care about their hate. If you're making 24 videos in total saying that you don't care about the hate, you clearly care about the hate. This movement serves to somehow normalize transphobia and allow bigots to excuse their extremely violent and toxic sexual preferences that leave out important members of our community, trans folks. As we've said previously, it should be highly encouraged for any straight identifying person to have at least one sexual encounter with a trans person in order to open their eyes. Additionally, we will continue to pursue the social implication of pseudo-law that eliminates the need or pressure for a trans person to disclose which sexual organ they have prior to sexual intercourse with a mate. Learn the difference. And that is the chart. As has been made clear by many recent studies, trans folks are more likely to be killed by scorned white male lovers than any other group of people. In other words, the core of the super straight movement is the reason trans folks are being slaughtered in a mass and will only help this number of deaths increase. I, for one, question the sexuality of anyone who tries so hard to erase any possibility of their sexual preference being anything but the cis normative. What? This makes no sense. Fundamentally, it makes no sense. Encouraging people, we strongly encourage you to definitely have sex with one trans person, even if you're not attracted to them. Like, what? This is so retarded. People, the trans people getting murdered, what they're specifically discussing is the fact that there were trans individuals that would have sex with people and not tell them about their actual gender, and then they would get murdered. And I'm not saying that murder's okay whatsoever. Absolutely disgusting. If you're going to murder someone, you're disgusting low scum. Period. Now, if it's self-defense, obviously this wasn't self-defense. This wasn't a self-defense case whatsoever. That's not why I mentioned it. My point is that they're correlating that to this. This is people saying, hey, we're attracted to cis individuals. This isn't people saying, hey, go murder people. In fact, your side of the argument is telling them to murder people, as proven in my last video. Try harder. This article is not only racist against white people, it's sexist because it constantly mentions men when we have all kinds of brothers and sisters in our community here. We've got super lesbians, super gays, super bis. We've got them all. We've got them all. And for you to insinuate that we're only white men is not only extremely racist because you're taking away my racial identity, and what else? You're racist against white people, misogynistic against men, and you're a superphobe. This article is nothing but superphobia, bigotry, ignorance, social justice, and racism and sexism all in one bundle, targeted at white men. Now we'll be discussing the final piece of superphobia. The final, for this video at least. Obviously, there will be plenty of more superphobia to come our way. We live in a very intolerant world. This depiction is that of the LGHDTV community. The brothers and sisters that we wish to be a part of, that we wish would accept us for who we are, our sexual orientation, stabbing us in the heart. It's almost an act of violence in itself. It's a hate piece, is what this is. It's disgusting, it's superphobic, it's hateful, it's bigoted, it's intolerant, and once again, this just reinforces the hypocrisy in it all. To claim acceptance and validity and be unable to accept other people for who they are, for their sexual orientation. It's a pain. And I feel it, community. I feel it, super community. I know. I feel your pain. We're going to move past this. But this is an act of it's practically an act of physical violence on us. That's what it is. That is an act of physical violence. It's repulsive to think that they would do this to us when we just wanted to be accepted.